Your father was one of the most charismatic figures in Grand Prix racing.
Hill wins the race and the championship with Colin Chapman's Lotus.
He's lost time. Hill goes by. Oh, out goes Schumacher. The German is out of the Australian Grand Prix, and Damon Hill only has to keep going to be world champion of 1994, but can he keep going? Damon Hill retires from the Australian Grand Prix.
Respectful of his ability as a driver, he's shown on numerous occasions that he has extraordinary talent and speed, and thank you. Congratulations to him for this occasion.
Well, I came into 1996 better prepared than I'd ever been, I think, for a Formula One season. I took the view that this was going to be my best and possibly my last chance to win the Formula One World Championship.
I'm looking forward to 1996, but not in the way compared to last year. The expectation is not to go for the championship right now. Sure, if we have a possibility, we will use it, but I think it's rather a dream than realistic at this moment, and I've tried to be realistic. So I don't expect too much by this stage. Let's see where we are. I don't think we have pace in this moment, in particular reliability should give us some trouble because we were very late with the car. We couldn't do all the tests that we wanted, but we will try and make the best out of the situation.
Yeah, it's very relaxed, and you know, got over my jet lag and everything, and I've heard it's nice and sunny weather down here now, so.
Villeneuve is the first to draw blood in the new one-session qualifying on Saturday afternoon. Only Carlos Reutemann in 72 and Mario Andretti in 78 have started their debut Grand Prix from pole.
I'd love to have had pole position, obviously, but I mean, Jack's done a terrific job and it was exciting, and I think the new format it is actually very exciting. You know, it's got to happen in that 1 hour, and I thought I had it there for a bit, and I got it taken away just at the end.
Despite Schumacher's pre-season reservations, Ferrari are right up there too.
Now, that was a long hold, and again it's a good start from Villeneuve. Is he going to out-drag Damon Hill? Yes, but this time he does not out-drag Irvine. And charging up through the field comes Gerhard Berger, who is right up alongside the Ferrari, where all go now as they come up towards turn 3, the soccer stadium. Damon Hill is second, Irvine is third again, and ahead of Michael Schumacher, so he's had a magnificent start.
Well, that was a mistake from Martin Brundle, but in the circumstances, who can blame him?
Yes, Martin has bad luck on the first time, bad luck on the second time, and Schumacher is now ahead of his teammate Eddie Irvine up into third place. And it's still the two Williams then. And if anybody can carry that Ferrari round on his back, it's Michael Schumacher. There won't actually be a need to do so. It's a John Barnard design. The engine has been developed by the ex-Honda Japanese engineer Osamu Goto. He's made a fine job of it, and it may well have been that Ferrari was sandbagging about the reliability of their cars. We don't expect them, or at least I don't expect them, both to last the full race distance. But Schumacher, as you can see, is giving the two Williams drivers a run for their money at the moment, and in the process is pulling away from Eddie Irvine. The gap between the two Ferraris now is 2.4 seconds. We're riding with him now, goes Damon Hill to take the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Schumacher will not go through before Villeneuve unless Villeneuve has a real problem. Now, the quickest top stop we've had so far is 9.1 seconds, but Villeneuve will be putting in less fuel, of course, because he's done 31 laps now. What am I saying? Because the seconds are ticking away. Now there's a problem with the left front, and that is a dreadful stop for Villeneuve, because if Damon Hill comes in on the next lap, as we expect him to, and takes less than 17 seconds, he will certainly take the lead. Have been changed. The nuts have been tightened.
Look at the different technique. Williams don't lower the car to the ground. Well, I'd have rather seen the end of Williams' pit stop than the Ligier. 13.5, it's a longer stop. It's a longer stop. This should let Villeneuve, let's have a look. We can see Hill comes out of the pit lane. Villeneuve comes up. It's going to be very, very close into the first corner.
And that Damon Hill takes the lead and stays ahead of Jacques Villeneuve. Well, you can't be much closer than that. And Villeneuve realises that now he's got to go for it, because Damon Hill's tyres are not as warm as Villeneuve's are. There's not a lot of difference in it, and Villeneuve fights and retakes the lead. Fantastic! Absolutely incredible. It's in the points. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is 7th, Parnis is 8th, Schumacher down to 9th position, a lap adrift. He's a lap behind, and out of the race goes Michael Schumacher. Now, I'm guessing, I really am guessing, that's exactly what he did on the familiarisation day at that very corner, and he just managed to scramble off, so he knows his way back. He's obviously overshot the corner. Now, here's a replay of it. Now, was that a brake failure or was it a Schumacher failure? I certainly don't think it was the latter.
Olivier Panis and the Ligier that's ahead. I think there's been an incident that we didn't see somewhere that's let Hill get right back in contention with Villeneuve.
The gloves are off. Their teammates are great mates, and off goes Villeneuve, and he gets on the course back in front of Hill, and he manages to block his teammate, because that was Damon's opportunity. He wasn't able to take it, but now Hill can push very hard indeed, and he's trying to take him on the outside. He nearly goes off on the inside of the corner. What a sensational scrap. And remember, this is for the lead between teammates. And Damon Hill senses his opportunity and goes for it. And Villeneuve cuts him off. Hill goes again. And this is lap 53 being completed. Slow, says... is he going to ignore it? Is he going to be a good team man and obey it? And if he does, Damon Hill will go through and win.
Well, the fact is, at the moment, he is ignoring it. Certainly has done so far. Now, this is the crucial bit. No, he lets him through. Surely, yes. Jacques Villeneuve lets Damon Hill through. He concedes the lead. He knows that he's got a problem with the car.
Bitter goal for Jacques Villeneuve. In the first one in Melbourne, convincingly, to make it 2 on the trot. And Damon Hill crosses the line to win the Australian Grand Prix. Glenn Dix gives him the flag, as he gave the winners in Australia in that distinctive style of his. The crowd know a good winner when they see one, and Damon Hill is that man. Look at the reception.
thinking about sleeping on the couch when I'm there. 'Cause I like you, yeah, I like you, and I feel it's a bohemian like you. Yeah, I like you, yeah, I like you, and I feel, whoa.
Very pleased about winning here because I had a hiccup in Germany, but I'm now back on winning form again. And the tactics in the race were perfect, and I had a very good strategy, and thanks to the Williams team for working that well.
It should be blue skies, it should be blazing sunshine, it should be baking heat. It was about 25 degrees here yesterday and the day before. Look what it's like now. I wouldn't like to be a driver in those conditions, particularly anybody other than Damon Hill, because if Hill gets away smartly from pole position on the left-hand side of the grid, he will be in a very strong position. Tremendous opportunity, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go! And Hill is away well. Tucked up behind him is the Benetton, and Michael Schumacher has been left at the start. And there's a jostling for position as they go into the first right-hander coming towards us. It is a Williams in the lead. Behind him is the Benetton, and it's Jacques Villeneuve who is leading. He's got ahead of Damon Hill, and so has Jean Alesi. Gerhard Berger is in 4th position in the second Benetton. So a magnificent start by the young... And Damon Hill is 3.5 seconds behind Jacques Villeneuve, who is taking advantage of the comparatively clear vision situation he's got to go fastest. He's just gone round in 1 minute 52 seconds. And that is about 8/10. And Hill onto the grass now. Has he managed to keep going? It's Johnny Herbert managed to do so. Damon Hill spins off and he's keeping those wheels rolling. And Berger goes past up into 3rd position. And Damon Hill rejoins. He's back in the race. Now that's the important thing. He's kept his momentum up. And Schumacher has got past as well. So Damon Hill has got it all to do now, but then so has Villeneuve. Michael Schumacher is the first man today to lap in these wet conditions in under 1 minute 50 seconds. You just saw the time. You see the result. The 2 times world champion in his 7th race for Ferrari is battling for the lead now, with Alesi ahead of him in 2nd place, who drove for Ferrari last year, and the incredible Jacques Villeneuve in only his 7th Grand Prix for the Williams-Renault team. So the Canadian leads, the Frenchman is 2nd, the German is in 3rd place, it's an Austrian 4th, an Englishman 5th, and a Brazilian, Rubens Barrichello, in 6th place. The race of nations in Spain.
What's interesting is Villeneuve is actually holding up, not just Alesi and Schumacher, but if we look at the lap times, his last lap was a 1 minute 52.3, and Hill's off again!
Damon Hill off again! Now, is this the end? He's managed to regain the track, but that's the 2nd time Damon's gone off, and I was saying earlier on that he was likely to be the happiest man in terms of his car handling. And now, there is Schumacher and Alesi. It's fantastic for 2nd position, and this is lap 9 in this 65-lap race. And Damon Hill is now down in 8th position. He's been passed by Frentzen, he's been passed by Verstappen, and Schumacher goes through, passes Jean Alesi and moves up into 2nd place with a bit of brilliant driving in these appalling conditions. Jean Alesi won't give up though. He was vying for the lead, now he's lost 2nd place, and Schumacher
come out of the bag these days, but it is still an advantage, and continuing to keep the Williams ahead, and they've been very dominant throughout the dry practice. But you know, watching Schumacher here, just watch the way his car shimmies as he's coming around these corners, and that's Damon Hill out!
Damon Hill out of the Spanish Grand Prix on lap 12. No points at Monaco, no points here in Spain. You can see how dejected he is. because quite apart from anything else, he's in the position of seeing his World Championship lead, and Schumacher is there with a clear track ahead of him, past Jacques Villeneuve. We didn't see the passing move, but we see the result of it, and Schumacher has brilliantly worked his way up from, first of all, third on the grid, then he dropped back into fifth position, and he now leads Jacques Villeneuve by nipping through on the inside, having looked, as Jonathan was saying, at all the possible line alternatives, looking for grip, and he's found it. This is very much the world champion at his best. There is the potential world champion, Damon Hill. And this is a mark of the genius of Michael Schumacher, having got past Jacques Villeneuve with a clear track in front of him. His last lap was an incredible 4 seconds faster than that of Villeneuve. He's streaking away now, having got the advantage, having got the lead, having got clear conditions, knowing where the grip is, and more importantly, where the grip isn't. Michael Schumacher leads on lap 13 in Spain, and frankly, I think he only has to keep going, even at this stage of the race, to stay there and give Ferrari their first Grand Prix victory. Wins the Spanish Grand Prix after an absolutely superlative drive to give himself 10 World Championship points, to give Ferrari 10 World Championship points.
Warm-up on the car was already quite good. We made some final changes which improved even further for the race, and after that it got better and better, and as I said, I took some different lines, which was quite a difference after a couple of laps, and that was the reason.
One of these days the sky's gonna break and everything will escape, and I'll know. One of these days the mountains are gonna fall into the sea, and they'll know that you and I were made for this. I was made to taste your kiss. We were made never fall away. One of these days, letters are gonna fall from the sky, telling us all to go free. But until that day, I'll find a way to let everybody know that you're coming back. You're coming back for me. 'Cause even though you left me here, I have nothing left to fear. These are only walls that hold me
Damon Hill's future in Grand Prix motor racing has been thrown into doubt after his Renault Williams team announced he would not be driving for them next season.
Damon, the world at large would expect you to feel hurt, downcast, angry, disillusioned. What are your feelings?
Well, I'm disappointed. I wouldn't say that I could be anything other than that. I was told the news on last Wednesday by Frank, and naturally I was very disappointed to hear the news.
Damon, some of the attitude to this decision that Frank's made almost seems to be that there's no life after Williams. Is that your attitude?
On reflection, it's maybe time I flew the nest. You know, I started there as a test driver and grown over these last 6 years, and I think that I have the opportunity now to explore other teams who I can bring my expertise to help develop a winning car.
Does it fire you up even more for Sunday?
I think there's extra motivation. There's always new twists and turns which provide extra motivation to win, but I don't need any more motivation. I've been motivated throughout the season to win races, and I think that the fact that I've won 7 of the last 13 races should speak for itself.
If not, would you quit?
I'm not a quitter, Ted.
I am extremely distressed for all sorts of reasons, one of which is that Damon is a personal friend of mine. The second is that I have to say I think he's been treated very badly by the team. If you think about what he's done in terms of being a test driver and developing the car, as I talk to you, he has won 20 Grand Prix and is likely to win the World Championship, and it seems a very poor return. But sadly, this sort of thing happens in Formula One.
Having closed to within 13 points in the race for the title, Monza provides Hill with the opportunity to clinch it or open it up. Another pole position is as good a place as any to start. Villeneuve, though, never seems that far away.
5, hold, go! Hill's got away well. Villeneuve lights up the tyres, and he's right up alongside Damon Hill as they go into the Rettifilio, and coming through from behind them, a Benetton. It must be Jean Lacey now. Are they all going to get through? They have done so far, all dodging the tyres. Jean Lacey has made another of those absolutely sensational starts of his and got ahead. He led the Italian Grand Prix P3 for Ferrari last year, but he was 6th on the grid, row 3. Number 3, Jean Alesi, leads with Damon Hill in 2nd position. Jacques Villeneuve is in 3rd place, and if you had asked me if that was likely to happen, I must say I would have said no, and Damon Hill leads. Hill passes Jean Alesi as they go into the Rogia, and you can see up behind Jacques Villeneuve are Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard. So it's Williams, then the Benetton, then the second Williams, and Alesi is having a go, trying to get the lead back at the Ascari chicane. My goodness, this Italian Grand Prix is red hot already on lap 1 as they come down to the Parabolica. Now, who's going to be first into the Parabolica? We'll soon see. It's Damon Hill. There's Villeneuve, and he's been passed by Mika Hakkinen. So Villeneuve is down to 4th position. He started 2nd on the grid. He's lost 2 places. He's in 6th position. Barrichello is 7th. And now there is Gerhard Berger coming off the track. So 3rd retirement, and we're only on lap 6. One of the Benettons is out, and Berger exits the car. An awful Monza for him.
Yes, this definitely hasn't been a good weekend at all for him, but what's wrong with Jacques Villeneuve? He's 6 seconds behind Michael Schumacher.
Look, under the bridge there, that is a Williams Renault, and I'm guessing that it's Jacques Villeneuve until we can see the driver. I'm not going to make any statements about her. It's Hill! It's Damon Hill! He's out! I don't know what's happened, but you can see from the way he is holding his head that he's absolutely distraught. Here it is, it's the Rettifilio, and he's hit the tyres, and he spins out and stops, and Damon Hill retires on lap 6. That means that Alesi leads, Schumacher is 2nd. Villeneuve, who is Damon Hill's chief challenger in the World Championship, is now in 3rd position, and we're looking back from Hill's car now as he goes into the Rettifilio. There's the first pile of tyres. He's hit them, he spins underneath the bridge, stops and out.
Situation to him, question mark of course over Ferrari reliability. I think this is really shaping up, despite the loss of the cars we've had so far, to be a pretty close race, because Alesi and the Benetton, Schumacher and the Ferrari really could be evenly matched. But the big mystery, and I hope we can find out from the pits what's going on, is just why is Villeneuve so poor? He's losing 1.5 seconds a lap to Jean Alesi of Alesi's car. Now he's closer, there's no doubt about it. He's coming up, he's closing all the way on Alesi. It's difficult to see the gap from this perspective, but I don't think he's going to be far enough. He's not close enough. At the moment, the car's fuel weight is burning off. Brakes are an issue here. These long braking speed distances when you come down, or short braking distances I should say, but hard amounts of braking from 200 right down to 50. They're about to do it again now. Put a great deal of heat into the brakes. Alesi is one of the last of the late breakers too, so that's going to be difficult for Schumacher to get by. Brundle remaining in 3rd place, and Alesi's coming into the pits. We hear now. This is the critical bit now. 9 seconds we're looking for. Look at that brake dust there, the black clouds of smoke coming out. That's normal. That's all the carbon fibre brake dust. It's a good stop. It's a good one. 9.0 seconds. Ferrari are ready. We can see that. That means Schumacher's coming in. We see the Jordan pit. That means that we're going to have Barrichello coming in soon. Ferrari going to have a hard job. It's good news for Schumacher, because that means that he can make up more time on the track, more time without being held up by Alesi, and he set a 26.3. That is 0.9 seconds faster than Alesi's best lap. So that means that Schumacher has clawed back 0.8 of a second, and it's fair to assume he's got a clear track in front of him. It's fair to assume that he can...
Very, very good indeed, and it's just about even, Stephen. 0.2 of a second in it. There's a 75 mile an hour speed limit in the pit lane. It's only a very short distance onto the track, and Michael Schumacher rejoins the track ahead of Jean Alesi, and the Tifosi go absolutely wild, because now on lap 34 there is Alesi in the background. What a race at Monza and the Italian Grand Prix. The Tifosi all around me are erupting. The scarlet flags, the Ferrari flags are flying. The prancing horses are prancing, and Michael Schumacher crosses the line to win the Italian Grand Prix with his clenched fist raised in victory. And there is the proof of the jubilation that all Italy is experiencing at this moment. Michael Schumacher wins in Italy.
So many people
enjoying themselves. It's fantastic. You can only see that in Italy. Just said before, I think we should allow everywhere the people to come in front of the podium to let them celebrate with us. But as they celebrate, it's only possible in Italy.
Right round the outside of the long right-hander before the pit straight. That gives him third, and there's nothing Schumacher can do to respond. It's Villeneuve's turn once more, but with a quicker stop from the Williams crew, he gets back into the race just ahead of Hill. Villeneuve consistently lapping about a second quicker than Hill, so that by the end of lap 70, the Canadian takes his 4th win of the season from Hill.
We knew we had to beat Damon by at least 10 points to still keep us a slim chance for the championship, and that's what we did today.
Sorry, Adrian.
That's all right.
How'd you...
Really sorry.
Why? Because now you're going to have to go to Japan.
Yeah, well, yes. You should apologise about that. You're quite right.
Do you think you can engineer? You think you can engineer me to 1 point? Blimey, it's got to finish, hasn't it? That's all.
Yeah.
I personally don't have a problem if he wins the championship, to be honest. I don't like it very much if I'm not able to push him, if I'm not able to compete with him, because I have certain mechanical problems. But in the end of the day, if he wins it, then he won it. I mean, that's the way it is.
I reckon I was in the best shape I've been mentally for any race all season at Suzuka. You couldn't manufacture a situation like that. That had happened as a result of 15 Grand Prix up until then. All the preparation, all the hours that you've spent in the gym, all the time you spent talking to the engineers, you know, at last, this is the time it's going to happen. There I was on the front row. I was ready.
The Japanese Grand Prix is go, and it is go this time, and a brilliant start by Damon Hill, and Villeneuve has been passed by shown.Rights and by one of the McLarens. So a terrible start for Jacques Villeneuve, and Damon Hill is in front, but remember, and I'm not trying to be a Jeremiah, but Damon Hill did exactly this at Monza, and out goes shown.Rights. Irvine in the Ferrari and Jacques Villeneuve, and the gap between Villeneuve and Damon Hill on lap 3 is 4.5 seconds. As Jonathan has said, Damon has got to play it very cool indeed, as Gerhard Berger comes right up alongside him and goes over the curb at the chicane. He was having a go there. Damon Hill rebuffed him, but at the same time kept the Williams clear of the Benetton, and look at the gap he's pulled out as a result of Berger running over the curb, and that's given Mika Häkkinen the opportunity to close up a bit on the Benetton. Hill goes round, turn 1. This is a 155 miles an hour corner on the entry. That is Gerhard Berger, and look at his wing. Look at his front wing. Gerhard Berger has got a wing problem. He's going to have to come in and change the nose, and this is going to make things even better for Damon Hill. And Villeneuve still battling for that 5th position. Now behind them, it's Martin Brundle in 6th position, and Villeneuve having a look as he comes up to the chicane, and Eddie Irvine rebuffing him. Villeneuve is quite the calmest, most relaxed, laid-back person I've ever met anywhere, but even he must be getting a bit agitated because he can't get past Eddie Irvine. He is now 8.5 seconds behind Damon Hill, and what's more, he's got Martin Brundle closing on. 4 new tyres and wheels, the right amount of fuel, which is pre-measured, and that looked like an absolutely immaculate stop for me as Michael Schumacher here comes out, and Damon Hill is going to rejoin. Is he just in front of the Ferrari? Yes, he is! Damon Hill, lap 35, rejoins in the lead ahead of Michael Schumacher. So, if any hope that the Ferrari team was that they would be able to pass Damon Hill in the pits, it has been destroyed. And on lap 36, with Villeneuve now the fastest man on the track as we join him, a new fastest lap, 1 minute 44.4. 3.4 seconds outside the all-time lap record of Nigel Mansell, and he's closing up on Gerhard Berger's Benetton Renault ahead of him. So we don't really count that. That was a good stop for Berger, now on his way for a clean run to the end of the race. Let's expect to see Katayama come up the pit lane, as really is being a tatty end to Katayama's, and that is Villeneuve. It's Villeneuve. Jacques Villeneuve is out of the race. Damon Hill is the world champion of 1996. Wheel off Villeneuve. We'll see what happened, but whatever it was has denied him the world championship. Frank Williams looking his normal impassive self, but Damon Hill is the world champion of 1996. His last lap in Japan, and now is the time to say that we are seeing history made, because Damon Hill is the son of the great Graham Hill, the world champion of 1962 and 1965, and never before in the history of Formula One Grand Prix racing has the son of a world champion become world champion himself. Damon Hill has already done that, even if he doesn't complete this lap that he is on, as he goes round turn 7 up to the unique crossover at Suzuka, which makes this circuit the way it is. And there are the teams in their blue and white London Rowing Club caps, matching the helmet of Damon Hill, which matches the helmet of his great father, Graham Hill. This is going to be a mighty emotional occasion for a lot of people, not the least of whom is myself. And Damon Hill will be concentrating in the cockpit there, but when he comes out of it, his arms will go up, the helmet will come off. That is his wife, Georgie. She's seeing her husband become world champion. Now she's seeing him win the Japanese Grand Prix, because he is almost home. This is something that many people didn't think could possibly happen today. They thought Damon would drive a cautious race, but he fought. He fought from second on the grid. He passed Jacques Villeneuve. He took the lead. He stayed there. And Damon Hill exits the chicane and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. And I've got to stop because I've got a lump in my throat.
It was good. You waited long enough.
Yeah, I think Michael was pleased to see me there. He actually said something along the lines of, I think Damon needs this, and I think he was right.
If Michael Schumacher was the greatest racing driver that ever lived, then I didn't do too badly against him. But we didn't know at the time. We didn't know at the beginning of his career. In fact, Ayrton didn't know. Nobody knew quite where this guy was going to end up.
I don't care what anyone says. He raised the bar. He was a naturally athletic person, but he took that side of things to a new level. And the devotion to being part of the team was at a different level than anything I'd ever seen before. You know, he would be the last one out of the paddock at night. You know, he would always want to be the one testing the car. You know, I can remember Maranello days. I'd ring him up and say, Michael, you know, we've got something we really want to check out tomorrow. He said, what time do you want me there? There was never a doubt. He was totally devoted to it, and it's a tragedy what's happened, but he's a lovely human being. I mean, the work he did away from motor racing, which he always kept quiet about, and he's a lovely guy.